Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to tonight's live chat. Yes, welcome to tonight's live chat. And James Gunn confirms one of the first phone calls he made when he got the job of co-chair of DC Studios was to Matt Reeves. And he does confirm that the Joker and the Batman franchises are all part of DC Studios. Now, Boris Kitt at The Hollywood Reporter, when this news broke about James and Peter being in charge of DC Studios, said that wasn't the case, and WB Pictures and Pat Magny and Mike DeLuca would be separately in charge of those two spin-off franchises. Wrong. The Batman and the Joker franchises are part of DC Studios. How do I know this? Because James Gunn has now confirmed it. Scott Edwards, what's up, my friend? Isaac Cruz Pineda, hey, Mick, good evening to you. So just to reiterate tonight's stories, Isaac Cruz Pineda, wow, this is amazing news. So, Matt Reeves was one of the first people James Gunn spoke to when he got the job of co-chair of DC Studios, and he has confirmed that the Batman franchises and the Joker franchises, everything DC moving forward, right, that they're going to make is part of DC Studios, right? Now, inadvertently, the 4 final Hamada movies are also part of DC Studios, but they weren't made by DC Studios. They weren't made by the new leadership. So there is a cut-off point now as far as I'm concerned. MFC Productions, hi, Mick. Hope you're doing good. Good evening, MSC Productions. It's good to have you here. I hope you're going to be interacting, making loads of comments. Smash the like buttons as well. Button? That's a bit weird. We've got a weird little person next to the other person on the views. Weird. Anyway. Scott Edwards, so your theory is Aquaman is going to be recast. That is my theory. And my theory is that maybe that will happen if Jason Momoa becomes Lobo. Isaac Cruz Pineda, where did James Gunn confirm this? He has joined the brand new social media platform. Don't ask me to tell you what it is, but he's been answering questions on there. It's all over Twitter as well, so it's everywhere. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. Abraham Herrera, so apparently Batman is going to cameo in Blue Beetle. That's what the guy said in an interview I saw yesterday, who's playing Blue Beetle's uncle. Now, this could have been an old interview when Hamada was running things. Isaac Cruz Pineda, did this just happen? It happened sometime today. I do apologize. I don't know exactly what hour, what second it was, but yes, it's a fact. It is a fact. Because I said this when Boris Kitt of THR said that they were nothing to do with DC Studios, I called bullshit on this. All DC content moving forward will be part of DC Studios. That's obvious. It's not even rocket science. As I said this morning on the DC Universe Daily Live, you've got to use your common sense in life. You've got to use your brain. So whether it just happened now or 5 hours ago, it's irrelevant. This was always going to be the case. I think we are dealing with one unified universe. A fan also asked him, when will we get a slate? And he goes, please give us a chance. We've only just started work. But this is what happens when you start boasting that you're going to be doing the most ambitious story ever in TV, animation, and film. People think you've already got a slate. I think they've been working for about 6 months on this anyway. MFC Productions, do you think Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire will get another Spider-Man film after the success of No Way Home? I'd certainly love Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi to do a Spider-Man 4, but it's all quiet on the Spider-Man front right now, whether that's Andy or Toby or even Tommy Boy. So I don't know. I mean, I know that's what the fans want, but it's weird. There's no talk about any Spider-Man projects at the moment. But you must remember, Sony owns Spider-Man, not Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios, because some fans seem to think that Kevin Feige can click his fingers, and that's not the case. Sony are very protective of Spider-Man. Isaac Cruz Pineda, I'm reading on Twitter that the Joker 2 is still going to be supervised by other people, not James Gunn. Sorry, Isaac, I don't know who told you that, but basically, everything DC is under DC Studios. The co-chair of DC Studios has confirmed it. End of story. Now, I don't know if you don't like that or you like that. It doesn't matter. Anything with the trademark DC, with these DC characters, animation, television, film, is all DC Studios. I think they're going to unify the whole thing. John, could they make Robert's Batman the main one in the DCU? Now, they can do whatever they want. I don't know if they will or not. Scott Edwards, I wonder if Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will provide a definitive ending. Maybe if these are the last 4 movies from the old DCEU and they're not going to play a part in the new DC universe, then you would expect that to maybe be a conclusion. But I don't think they planned for this. So these are movies that were made by another leadership. So they planned to continue. Now, I don't know if they're going to go back because they have reshot some stuff and create a definitive ending. We will see. It's very exciting, isn't it? Isaac Cruz Pineda, how could they unify the Joker when Batman has Barry Coogan as their Joker? If you know anything about DC Comics, you know there's quite a few versions of the Joker in the comics. Hashling me, I still hope Batfleck will be the DCU Batman. I can't tell you. I don't know. Nobody knows but James Gunn, Peter Safran, David Zaslav, Mike DeLuca and Pam Adby. And unfortunately, they're not on my Christmas card list. Hashling me. Oh, yo, Mike. Scott Edwards, they can still use the multiverse concept. They can do, but I think they're going to use it differently. I think they may use it to use the new DC universe as another universe, maybe, and just leave the old DCEU on another Earth, maybe. Maybe they'll do it that way. MSC Production, I have a feeling that Avengers Secret Wars will be like Endgame, where they try and throw as many superheroes on screen at once. Well, that's the MCU, isn't it? You know, in a nutshell anyway. It's cameos, Easter eggs. That's the way DC Universe is going as well. But hopefully we make actually good films, unlike the MCU. Smash the like button, please. There's 8 of you in the chat. A very good evening to you. It's always great to be here. Loads of content today. We did the DC Universe Daily Live, where I couldn't stop gas bagging today. It was awesome. I did a pre-teaser of that. We then did another video, and then I did a Doctor Who video. Now I'm doing this. Scott Edwards, I read a report that the new Henry Cavill Superman movie is a total reboot. Well, that wouldn't surprise me, my friend. Actually, that would make me very, very happy if that's the case, because I think we need a total reboot, don't you? Because it hasn't worked out, has it, the DCEU? You know, I tried to watch Crisis on Infinite Earths again. I hate the Tom Welling thing. I hate it. I hate it that they depowered him. I hate what they did. It really pisses me off every time I see it. Scott Edwards, will you watch the crossover arc that's going to open The Flash Season 9? Maybe, if I'm bored. I mean, because it's all ending anyway, Scott. I saw the best of the Arrowverse, the first 2 seasons of The Flash, the first 2 seasons of Arrow. It went to shit after that. It's a shame. I didn't mind the first season of Supergirl. I didn't mind the first season or so of Legends of Tomorrow. But in the end, it became a diluted franchise. I don't actually know why people are fighting to bring Legends back. It had like 6 or 7 fucking seasons. I mean, what more do you want? John, do you think we will get a new Darkseid in the future? Well, listen, I think you can still use the same actor because it's not his face, is it? It's just his voice. Scott Edwards, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a good crossover. Yeah, it's as good as Arrowverse got, but yeah, there's a lot of issues with that as well. Alex Melvin, am I evil for not wanting James Gunn to be anywhere near the Batman? No, I wouldn't say you're evil, and I think Matt has the freedom to do what he wants. But it's all under one umbrella, my friend. But he's not going to be running that film. MFC Productions. I'm going to have to shoot off now, Mick, but I'll try to come back later in about half an hour. If you're still live, I certainly should be. Depending how busy we are, I stay live. If there's loads of chat, if it goes quiet, I'll go, but I'm sure I'll be here in half an hour. So hopefully see you back again. Thank you for the interactions. And please smash a like before you go, if you don't mind, of course. Always very grateful. You know that. So welcome to the channel. My name's Mick. This is Movies TV Mad, and we talk predominantly about DC, but we're happy to talk about anything in entertainment, TV, and films. The animator who laughs, there only exists one dark side in the multiverse, according to the New 52. Scott Edwards, the Arrowverse deserves a proper send-off. Why? Why? Why does it have to? Why do you need a definitive ending? You basically have had so many seasons, Scott. So many seasons of so many stuff. You know, add it all together. You've had more than Smallville ever got. What more do you want? You know, at the end of the day, you know, I don't think the Arrowverse does deserve anything more than anyone else gets. Look, they've sold the CW, right? Most of the shares in the CW. It is done. Alex Melvin, but producers matter. All MCU movies are the same because it's by that hack fade. And when Snyder was the head of DC, all the films were his style, such as Wonder Woman. That's why I don't want Gunn in the Batman. But he's not involved in the Batman, my friend. But it's a DC property. That's what it means. It's all under the same umbrella. James Gunn will have nothing. James Gunn's a director. He don't like people interfering with his movies. He ain't going to interfere with that movie. But if he decides he wants that Batman to be part of the same universe, I don't think that's a bad thing, because we can't go with Keaton. He's far too old. That was a dumb idea, as much as I love Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne and Batman. And that's where I stand on that one. Of course, respect your opinion, of course. My opinion isn't the opinion. It's just an opinion. So he's not going to interfere with the Batman because he's a director, and he's not going to interfere with Matt Reeves' vision. John, did you see the whale trailer? I didn't. I don't even know what the whale is. Oh, you mean with Thingy? No, I haven't seen that yet. Alex Melvin. They can go with Affleck. Yeah, if Affleck wants it, if they want Affleck to go back. We just don't know, do we? We don't know what the conversations are. We don't know if Affleck originally wanted to sign off with the Flash movie. So, I don't know. Basically, the Flash movie gives him the send-off he wanted, but then he said he's happy to reappear in cameos. Who knows? Who knows? Every time we say goodbye, I die a little. A more quieter day today in the DC universe. We can't have news every day, of course. Please smash the like button. Isaac Cruz Pineda, a lot of people here today. Yeah, we've got a few people here today. That's good news, isn't it? It's good to have a huge environment. I wish I could have more people in here. I wish I was struggling to keep up with the chat. That would be an amazing day. I actually had a dream last night that I couldn't keep up with all the chat and my brain exploded. So, yeah, you're all welcome to be here. Scott Edwards, Snyder Cut footage was shot about 4 or 5 years prior to release, right? I think so, yes. Alex Melvin, I think the potential of the Batman universe will be diminished if he joins the DCEU. With awful films like Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84, Suicide Squad 2016. Well, the DCEU is going to finish, my friend, with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Then it's a brand new franchise and universe. The old one's done. It didn't work. It's done. Great movies, bad franchise, and we're moving on. And I like the Suicide Squad 2016. And I like the Suicide Squad. John, Ben Affleck might not even want to continue after Aquaman 2. Well, that's the issue, isn't it? This is the issue they want to deal with. This is something they have to deal with. Alex Melvin, are they going to keep previous actors like Margot Robbie and Gal Gadot? I've got a feeling that we may get a statement eventually from Margot Robbie that she's not going to be Harley anymore. That's just a feeling. Isaac Cruz Pineda, this new DCU will show how the true DC fans and those who were never fans to begin with. Well, listen, there's some people who pray to one director, and that's okay. I like Zack Snyder. I like his DC movies. But we're going to move forward. Alex Melvin, yes, I don't want Margot as Harley. Personally, I don't anymore either. And I have reasons for that. I don't want actors to be in control of their characters. I want them to read their lines, look up in the sky and say blue when they're told to say blue. I don't mind them having discussions with directors, but we've seen what happens when we allow actors to take control of one movie. Alex Melvin, you're 100% right. Actors have too much ego now. Yes, that's the problem. You know, you're there for a reason. Now, I don't mind them kind of having a few suggestions and stuff. That's fine. Margot Robbie is an amazing Harley. She is, but she's also a feminist and an extremist, I'm afraid, and a progressive. And she wants to take Harley to a feminist direction. She's already tried that. Harley Quinn isn't a feminist. Harley Quinn carries a fucking baseball bat and crushes people's skulls. Harley Quinn is a villain, not a feminist, not a good guy. Sorry, we can't rewrite history just because she's a woman. John, if Zach comes back, it won't be to continue his story. Alex Melvin, that's not Harley, that's female Deadpool. I think we're going to get a more accurate depiction of Harley Quinn by Lady Gaga and Todd Phillips. And if she becomes the main Harley in the new DC universe, I'll be happy. Isaac Cruz Pineda, maybe Gaga can replace Margot. I'll be happy with that. Alex Melvin, hopefully. I'm sorry, but Harley Quinn isn't a hero. She's a villain. Now, you can make her an anti-hero, right? But she's killed people. She sat there with the Joker and laughed while he killed people and done crazy shit to them. We can't suddenly rewrite history because she's a woman, right? And say, oh no, she's this great person. I'm sorry. We can't rewrite history. Just because we've got progressives in entertainment who think women can't do no wrong. Sorry. That's not how the real world works. Apologies, but they're the facts. Alex Melvin, it's also because she's a lesbian now with Ivy. They're not allowed to be evil for some reason. But the thing is, you know, Harley Quinn wouldn't have even become famous without her relationship with Joker. Yeah, we know why they did the whole Ivy thing. We all know what's behind that. Isaac Cruz Pineda, what did Margot do to make Harley a feminist? Well, just watch Birds of Prey and you'll know what she did. Watch that scene in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad when she kills that gangster. Alex Melvin, have you seen Birds of Prey, Isaac? I didn't say that. I'm amused. Isaac Cruz Pineda, I avoid that movie. Alex Melvin, good, you should. Although I think you should watch it so you have knowledge. I mean, it's not totally bad. I mean, but yeah, I mean, look, they fucked up. They should never allowed her to be in control of a movie. Brian Branch, hey, what's up, everyone? Good evening to you. Please smash the like button. Smash that like button. Don't be stingy. Alex Melvin, what DC character do you want in the DCU that hasn't been introduced yet? Plastic Man, because I want to see all levels of the DC universe represented. And definitely Connor Kent. Definitely Connor Kent. I want to see Dick Grayson. I want to see Jason Todd. Eventually, I want to see Batgirl. I want to see a proper true blue Supergirl. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Girl seems to me to be the most unproblematic female in the DCU. Scott Edwards, are you going to hype up Shazam leading up to release? I always hype up and be excited for DC movies, yes. I don't believe these four final Hamada movies, are anything to do with the future. But yeah, we always get excited for DC content. Ashling me, which actor do you want to play Lobo? Well, look, there's some really good actors out there who could do it. I mean, Jason Momoa is kind of being rumored to do it because of him getting excited. Then 24 hours later, it being kind of teased. But yeah, I look, I don't have any preconceived ideas about who should play that character. John, I want to see a proper Red Hood in the DCU. Yeah, that would be cool. But first of all, the DCU has to get its house in order. It has to set up a universe. It needs to have a proper slate of films. But the DCU can't work unless they set up a great Superman movie. And until they do, make a Superman movie that's actually about Superman. Not a godlike figure, not Jesus Christ, but the firefighter of the DC universe. Brian Branch, I ready to see what Gunn brings. I excited for DC Films E and the Batman universe. Scott Edwards, do you think Harley will appear in the Flash movie? I must admit, I have no idea. Isaac Cruz Pineda, hey Mick, I saw a post that made my day today. It was a sarcastic post stating how they wish William Dafoe is the perfect casting for Robin. Ha ha ha. Hashling me, is Joker 2 the final movie? What final movie? You mean the final movie in that franchise? I have no idea. If it makes money, it won't be the final movie. If it doesn't make money, it will be. That's how it works. Brian Bryce, do you think Green Lantern will make his debut in the new DC films? I hope so. Isaac Cruz Pineda, you think it's a top Joker one? Well, I think it's a very ambitious project to be a musical. In terms of box office, you can't judge these things, my friend. Scott Edwards, is WB satisfied with Black Adam? Extremely satisfied with Black Adam. Alex Melvin, will Amy Adams come back for Man of Steel 2? It depends if this new Superman film is a reboot or a continuation. I've given my pick for the brand new Lois Lane. Karen Gillan, Lois in the comics is a natural redhead. Karen Gillan is also a natural redhead. She's worked with James in Guardians before, so she would be pretty perfect for me. Brian Branch, I heard it's a reboot, the Superman. That's what a few people have told me. I haven't heard anything like that, to be honest with you, but hey. I don't think we know. We just don't know. I don't think anyone knows anything just yet. Rolo, Lois is not a redhead. She is in the comics. She is in the comics. Lois Lane is a redhead in the comics. Maybe not in the modern comics, but originally she is. Back me up, everyone, please. Brian Branch, do you think Justice of Society? Justice Society? I don't understand. Brain Right Society will get a movie. I hope so, because they're a great team full of great characters, but we must see them in their peak, not with just a couple of members like we saw in Black Adam. Alex Melvin, do you think we will see Black Adam ever again? That's a good question. But we did see Superman in his movie. So, yeah, I don't know. You just don't know, because you don't know what they're actually planning. And I mean, The Rock has been pretty quiet about James Gunn as well. So he hasn't come out in all celebration, has he? Alex Melvin, I doubt he gets a sequel. Yeah, I mean, I doubt that as well. Hashling me, is Zaytana still happening? JJ Abrams Zaytana is not happening. Nothing that JJ Abrams was planning for DC will be happening, but I'm sure James Gunn and the team will be looking to give us a version of Zaytana, because she's an important DC character. I think Cruz Pineda, do you believe Gal will get casted after her film comes out? Do you believe Gal will get what? I'm sorry, again, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Casted where? Isaac Cruz, Pineda. Oh, sorry, I meant recasted. Anything is possible. I dismiss nothing. Brown Branch, what about Cyber? Is Ray Fisher might be back now? Maybe, maybe not. Next moment, who is your favourite Batman villain and who is your favourite Superman? What, my favourite Superman villain? My favourite Batman villain, that's an interesting one. Because there's so many, you see. Well, I'm not much of a comic book reader. I do really like Jack Nicholson's Joker. I do think he's my favourite Joker because he's a lot of fun as well. Who is your favourite Superman? My favourite Superman is Christopher Reeve. My favourite Superman villain? Well, I do like Manchester Black in the Elite, from the Elite. Yeah, I like Manchester Black. Lex Luthor's really cool as well. Alex Melvin, Jack Nicholson is a legend. Yes, he is. I know he's not the favourite in the votes, but to me, that's what the comic book Batman is. And I think he's more accurate, not totally accurate, of course, because of the backstory of him killing the Waynes. But I think that's the Joker. For me, that's totally the fucking Joker. He just works as a proper Joker. You see, the other ones are too deep and, they're too, edgy. But if I imagine opening a comic book, I imagine Jack Nicholson's Joker more than the others. I don't think Leto, I like Jared Leto. I don't particularly like his Joker. I don't hate his Joker either. But yeah, you can tell he's acting rather than an actual Joker. Brian Branch, who would you like to see the villain or main villain for the Batman 2? I've answered this question so many times, and I'll answer it again. I believe the Batman 2 will have multiple villains, and every time someone asks me that question, they don't like my answer. Isaac Cruz Pineda, the fact that the Batman is a part of DC Studios and Matt Reeves has left that happen means he's open for the Batman to join the DCU. Well, everything has to be part of DC Studios because it's a brand. This is what they're trying to create, a brand. Now, yes, as I say, I'm not going to dismiss anything, but I don't know how possible that is either. Alex Melvin, does Matt Reeves have a choice though, Isaac? I think that Matt Reeves is in a bargaining position. They're going to respect him. They love the box office of the Batman. They like what he did. But it's a difficult one to answer. Aran Kumar, do you think Ray Fisher will come back? I doubt it. I have no idea. Again, anything is possible. Isaac Cruz Pineda, he could always walk away. I don't think he is going to walk away. I think a couple of his producers from the Batman have joined DC Studios as well, or at least one of them. So, yes. I don't think Matt Reeves is going anywhere. He really wants to expand these stories. So I don't think there's any problems with Matt Reeves. And as I said earlier, James Gunn has already spoken to Matt Reeves as well. So there's no problems there. So let's not create any problems when there's no problems there. When the co-chair of DC Studios has already spoken to Matt. I rewatched The Batman yesterday, a fine movie. There's a few kind of progressive, there's a little bit of progressive propaganda there, but if you ignore that, it's a brilliant movie. Scott Edwards, Superman and Lois is probably going to get the axe this season, right? Well, I'm not Nostradamus, my friend, but it wouldn't surprise me. Isaac Cruz Pineda, is it a news article that says James Gunn has spoken to Matt Reeves? I want to read that. No, it's not a news article. James Gunn has confirmed that himself. Rolo, what's going on with Ben Affleck? I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't know. Please smash the like button. We have a good amount of people in the chat, 11 people, but we have a measly 5 likes. So I've been talking for the past half an hour non-stop, trying to be respectful, answering your questions. So the least you guys can do, if you're interested in being here, smash that like button. I don't charge. It's free. Come on. All you have to do is just go boom, boom. Let's do this. Thank you for the likes. You know I appreciate the likes. I'm a very, very small YouTuber. Very. Alex Melvin, but I'd argue Batman is good progressive. Batman is still, without a doubt, the hero of the film, even though he's white. And there are multiple other good white cops than Alfred. Well, let me explain to you, right? So let's look at this. We have the white, we have the white person going for to becoming the mayor, right? He's corrupt. We have a black progressive mayor. She's good. We have a bunch of white hoodlums. We have one black kid who doesn't really want to be there. He's okay, right? We have Commissioner Jim Golden, who's black, the only half decent copper there. Then we have the Latinos who are kind of we had that Latino cop who kind of loves Bruce Wayne but hates Batman, so he's kind of bad good. So Latinos are not represented very well either. So there is a lot of propaganda there, my friend, but I choose to ignore it. I choose to ignore it. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Benny's done in my opinion. I have no idea. As I say, I'm not going to dismiss anything because we're in the dark. We are simply in the dark. It's great to discuss it here on the chat, but I don't even know if he's done or not done. Nobody knows. And considering we're going from the DCEU to the DCU, he may not be Batman anyway because one universe may have nothing to do with the other. That's something you all have to start considering, that the DCEU after Aquaman and Lost Kingdom is finished, dead, kaput. And I'm absolutely fine with that. Isaac Cruz Pineda, if the new Batman isn't Patterson, I just hope for a new young Batman. I think that would work. I think that would be the best thing. I really do. I really do. They've got to do what's best. It's like the Superman film. They've got to do what's best for the character, and because it's going to be the launch pad for the new universe. Alex Melvin, but in Nolan trilogy, all the villains are white as well. I'm not trying to argue. I hate woke stuff as well. If they race what Batman and had that message, I'd agree with you. Yes, Batman's a good guy, but when you look at a lot like we got Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz is a great Catwoman. I have no issue with her casting, but when you look at it, it does seem that basically we're trying to say in this film that black people are cool and everyone else isn't. But that's not how the world works, by the way. It doesn't matter what color you are, what gender you are. It's individual. Every individual is different, no matter if they're a woman, a man, black, white, whatever. But this is the problem with the progressives. The messaging isn't good. Alex Melvin, but Batman is the coolest, yeah. So one white guy is cool, yeah. Isaac Cruz Pineda, he is. I mean, look, I don't want you to misunderstand me. I like Matt. I love the Batman. Watching it yesterday, as I said, really loved it. I loved the music. I loved the relationship between Catwoman and Batman. I love it all. I love the third act, how it's not just another boss battle. It really is brilliant. It's a great movie, and I can't wait to see more. Alex Melvin, Alfred 2. Yeah, that's 2 then. I might be losing this argument, but I'll take it. I don't want to be too strong about it. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Mick, who's your favourite Alfred casting? Oh, I think it has to be Michael Caine. I like Michael Caine's Alfred because he's kind of sarcastic as well. So is Jeremy Irons pretty cool. Obviously, the one in the 66 series, I like him as well. I don't think there's ever been a bad Alfred. I think my joint favourite Alfred, along with Michael Caine, is Sean Pertwee on Gotham. He's really good because he's a bit younger. He's got skills. He can fight. So I do like Sean Pertwee's Alfred in Gotham as well. John, what about the actor from the movie Rocker Man as a young Batman? What actor's that? Do you mean Rocket Man? Rolo, I think Pattinson should stay in his own world. The DCU gets an accurate Batman, Jim Gordon and Catwoman. Alex Melvin, Gotham had such a great cast, but the writing was so bad it was distracting. I didn't find the writing bad in Gotham, but I did think there was a lot of fillers in there, but I thought it was amazing. And I think they've given us probably one of the best live-action Jokers as well. Alex Melvin, Taron Egerton. Yeah. Taron's brilliant. Taron's brilliant. That could work. But we don't always have to go for the famous people. There's lots of actors out there we've never heard of. Maybe they'll be good. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Gotham ending was the ending was terrible. The whole Batman thing, and the insult, very good. The girl who played Selena, really good mate of mine, and they fucked her. They fucked her, not literally, but they fucked her, changing the actress. And I still find that utterly fucking. That really pisses me off because she was so good. Isaac Cruz Pineda. Wait, you know the actress? Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, she's not. I mean, she's hardly Britney Spears or something, but yeah. John Henry Cavill was unknown before Superman. Yeah, he did. I mean, he did a couple of period pieces, but yeah, you don't want a famous person playing Superman. Never, because you see that. I mean, with Superman the movie, they wanted to cast like all the famous actors, and it would have been ridiculous. But then Dick Donner came on. But you don't want a famous person really playing these characters anyway. It kind of what you can get. Gene Hackman worked as Lex Luthor. Kevin Spacey worked as Lex Luthor. Isaac Cruz Pineda, like the casting for, I don't know what you're talking about again. Alex Melvin, is Henry Cavill getting too old? The grey's coming in his beard. Alex, I can't believe you just asked me that. Did you see him in the Black Adam post-credit scene? Does he look too old for you? Is 38 years old? No, of course he ain't too freaking old. Isaac Cruz Pineda, like the casting for Black Adam, all I can see is The Rock. Exactly. It's problematic. I agree. Alex Melvin, it was a joke. It's a meme. Alex Melvin, I love Henry. No way is he too old. They were trying to spread that propaganda, the previous leadership, because for some reason they didn't like Henry and they didn't want him playing Superman, but they didn't want a white Superman anymore. It was ridiculous. Alex Melvin, that's what a disgraced Randolph said. So I said it to try to make you laugh. I love Henry. Yeah, she is a disgrace, isn't she? John, Tom Cruise is 60 and still doing the Mission Impossible movies. Yeah, listen, people are so ageist, and I mean, he's in good shape, obviously. I mean, you can tell he's 60, and you can tell there's a lot of plastic surgery there, but Tom is great. Isaac Cruz Benado, I'm too excited for this new DCU, the possibilities. Oh, me too, I agree. Rolo, The Rock didn't make much of an effort to look like Black Adam. No, he just looks like The Rock, and that is a problem. And I think this is, interesting stuff. But he's The Rock. Alex Melvin, older actors are better. I mean, I don't have a preference. I just like good actors. I just like people who are talented. The animator who lost, what DC comic book adaptation would you like to see in the DCU? Well, unfortunately, we won't get it now because they've kind of been done. But I would have loved to have seen Flashpoint. I would have loved to have seen the death of Superman and Superman Lives. But the other one I'd love to see is Superman versus the Elite, because I fucking love that story. Isaac Chris Benado, what could he have done to look like Black Adam? Well, I think in the comics, his ears are pointy, the hair's different. So yes, honestly, they wanted to do a Black Clark Kent take on Superman, which would have been so stupid. Henry Cavill for life. And plus, we've got two awesome Black Supermen, at least in the comics. So if they wanted Black Superman, they can still adapt those actual Black Supermen. Alex Melvin, Jar Jar stays pandering to Twitter. Alex Melvin, Jar Jar Abrams, he's finished, isn't he? He's finished at DC. John, was Lois a redhead in Smallville? Kind of. I wouldn't say a proper redhead, not like Kaz. The animator who laughs under the red hood would be interesting too. Yeah. I just really, really like Superman versus the Elite because I think it's a contemporary story because it puts Superman's no-kill policy on trial. It's what fans have been saying for years. Why doesn't he kill? Well, it puts on trial and it proves why Superman is right not to kill. And Isaac Cruz Beneda, Under the Red Hood is years away. Alex Melvin, Smallville or Man of Steel? Both. I think Smallville represented the character more accurately, if you want to ask me that. I think Smallville is iconic. I think Smallville is probably more iconic than Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel, but Smallville was very faithful to who the character has always been, even though he didn't wear the costume. The animator who laughs, The Rock didn't even try to have an Egyptian accent. Look, the guy can act his way out of a paper bag, let alone putting on an Egyptian accent. Isaac Cruz-Pineda, who's your casting for The Flash, if not Ezra? Well, and there's some really good actors out there, but if you're asking me specifically, I wouldn't be able to pick one. I mean, who? It's a difficult one to think of who could play Flash. Personally, I'd like to see a younger actor in their early 20s who looks youthful. I mean, I like the kid who plays Billy Batson. He would have been great, but obviously he's taken. CC Ezra should be the reverse Flash now. Yeah, I think there's going to be so many changes when we go from the DCEU to the DCU. That's clear. Some people are clearly going to be recast because it's a new universe. Roller, Ezra as the Flash was almost as bad as Jesse Eisenberg's Lex. Well, you know what? Ezra's okay as Barry Allen. He's not brilliant. I wouldn't have chosen him. Jesse Eisenberg is one of the great actors, indie actors of this generation. His performance was very strong, but he wouldn't be my ideal Lex Luthor. That's true. Isaac Cruz-Pineda, I never really liked Ezra's Flash suit, so I hope they make a different suit if he is recasted. Alex Melvin, no one in real life knows about Ezra, though. Only internet people. John, do you think Alison Mack could get her career back on track after she gets out? Well, I don't think she's getting out anytime soon, is she? So I don't know. I mean, if she gets out at a decent age, I don't know what sentence she has. I mean, anyone can rebuild their career. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Alex Melvin, The Social Network is a masterpiece. Anyone who thinks Jesse is a bad actor should watch that. No, look, listen, his performance as Lex Luthor is outstanding. And he's got the same character traits as in the comics. He hates Superman. So it works for me. I wouldn't have cast him, but he gives a really strong performance. Who is your, the Legend CJ, who is your dream cast for The Flash? Someone's just asked me that. And I look, off the cuff, I just don't know. There's so many good actors out there who could play The Flash. I'd like to see a young actor in their early 20s. Isaac Cruz-Pineda, who isn't a bad actor, I just wouldn't cast him for Lex. Well, none of us would. But the performance is huge, is very, very strong. It's a strong performance. He did really, really well. I don't think anyone would have casted him as Lex, apart from Zack Snyder, of course. But yeah, I think in the end, he was an okay Lex. He does come out around. He acts like this megalomaniac. He acts like he ain't right. So he does a good job. The animator who laughs, he would have made a good Riddler. Everyone says that. Everyone says that. Alex Melvin, what are your thoughts on the James Gunn controversies? You're going to have to elaborate a bit on that. I don't know what you mean. Isaac Cruz-Pineda, if James Gunn goes for something crazy and makes a black Lex Luthor, I would cast Idris Elba. That would be good. Yeah, that would be cool. I'd rather we don't have a black Lex Luthor, though. John, Superman the movie and Superman Returns, Lex was great. Yeah, look, they're great versions of Lex. I mean, Michael Rosenbaum is my favourite live-action Lex, but yeah. Spacey and Gene Hackman, of course, legendary actors, obviously. Kevin Spacey's been a bit of a naughty boy, but yeah. Isaac Cruz-Pineda, Walter White is my casting for Lex. Yeah, everyone likes him. I'm not too sure. I'm not overly kind of enthusiastic about that casting. I've always wanted Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Kingpin in Daredevil. I think he would be perfect. CC Lucas Till would be a great Flash. Yeah, I've had a few people say that to me. Isaac Cruz Beneda, if you lost a couple of pounds, Mick. CC, you could be a Lex Luthor. Why? Because I shaved my head. I could be a great Lex Luthor, by the way. Maybe. CC, maybe. I think it's because of that, isn't it? Alex Melvin, but when I see James Gunn's slimy humour, I'm always reminded of it. So if you're talking about the controversies of James Gunn, the jokes he made and certain things like that, here's the thing. I don't agree with that humour. I don't agree with the parties he went to. But here's the thing. As far as we know, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't broken any law. And until he does, I'm fine with him, because making a few stupid jokes and going to stupid parties isn't a crime. And the problem is, we can sit in judgment of these people, but I don't know who you are. I don't know what you've done in your life. For as far as I know, you could be a serial killer. So I don't think we're in a place to judge someone who hasn't broken the law. He's very good at his job. He deserves this opportunity. And yeah, so I like James Gunn as a creative. I've interacted with him before. So yeah, for me, it's live and let live. CC, if I just worked on Here's You, animator who laughs, Mark Strong would also make a good Luthor. Yeah, Mark Strong will be an excellent Luthor. And he was a great, what's his fucking name now? He was a great Sinestro. He really was. The animator who lost 15 viewers. Yeah, that's sadly a record for me. Alex Malvin, Mark Strong has already been too many DC villains already. Sinestro and Shazam villain. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's what acting's all about, my friend. CC, if I just worked on his US accent, he would be a prime John Stewart Green Lantern. Maybe we can... Yeah, but isn't he a bit too old now? I don't know. Well, I think that Idris is a great actor who could put on an American accent, but Alex Melvin, John Stewart or Hal Jordan, Mick? I do like John Stewart. Hal Jordan's a bit too all-round American, isn't he? He's a bit like Maverick from Top Gun for me. He's a bit, American Pie. So I do like John Stewart. CC Kyle Rayner. Yeah, cool. Isaac Cruz Beneda. John Stewart all the way, baby. Welcome to Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the the host with the most. Welcome to Movies TV Mad and our nightly evening live chat. Who is your favourite Teen Titan? Oh, that's a difficult one, actually. I think Dick Grayson. Alex Melvin, I love John because of the Justice League cartoon, best DC material. Oh, yeah. All the stuff that Bruce Timm's done is the best DC material. Isaac Cruz Pineda, yeah, the animated interpretation is the best. Yeah, the animation is amazing. Live action have never hit it home like animation have. Never. Because the people who've done the Justice League animation actually know and understand DC, and that's the difference. And we've never had those types of people working in the live action films who get it as much as that. But when you think about Dick Donner and Tom Mankiewicz, who did Superman the movie, they weren't comic book guys, but they totally nailed Superman at the very least. Isaac Cruz Pineda, live action films. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Mick, do you believe we best Marvel in everything else besides films? Well, no. Let me be absolutely clear. DC have made better individual films than Marvel have. The only great Marvel films as individual films are X-Men 1 and 2, Spider-Man 1 and 2, right? That's the ones. They're the best ones. DC have made better movies than the MCU. But in terms of a franchise, obviously the MCU has succeeded over them. So, yeah, I mean, Superman the movie is better than anything the MCU's ever done. Superman 2 is a better movie than they've ever done. Batman 89 is a better movie. Batman Returns, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, The Batman, The Joker, Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder's Justice League. These are all superior to the MCU. Aquaman, superior to the MCU. John, I love the speech Lex gives to Clark in the final episode of Smallville. Oh, that's so well performed. It is brilliant. Alex Melvin, Isaacs, DC has beat them in live action as well, in my opinion. Nolan trilogy, Joker, the Batman, everything. Marvel. CC, big question. Seeing how a Keanu Constantine sequel is in the works, do you think they can properly incorporate it into the future DC works? I think it will be a bad idea. I don't think they're going to do anything to separate. They're not going to purposely separate stuff, I think. So if it's happening, they're going to try and James Gunn will want to intermold everything together. CC, seeing how we need a younger Constantine. Alex Melvin, money is irrelevant when it comes to determining what is best. I agree. By that logic, Baby Shark is the greatest song of all time. Exactly. It's not about box office. It's about your personal opinion, your personal enjoyment. Unfortunately, Gen Z doesn't get that. Isaac Cruz Beneda, the best song of all time, Alex, is Alex Melvin, ha ha ha. Isaac, Rolo, do you think the MCU's Fantastic Four will be the worst one yet? Absolutely, yeah. I don't think it'll be as bad as the last film they did, which was horrible. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be great. And I do think that they're not going to be comic book accurate. What I'm trying to say to you, I don't think they're going to be white. So it's funny that everyone keeps on does fan casting for Fantastic Four and they're all white actors, because I don't think they're going to be white. I'm not going to give a judgment on that. I'm just telling you what I think. I don't think the next James Bond is going to be white. It's just the way that we're going. Hey, they'll probably recast Luke Skywalker as a black man. They'd do it. They would do it if they could get away with it. I mean, I was watching the Super Sons, the animated movie, and Jimmy Olsen was black in it. I couldn't believe it. Alex Melvin, if you think Fantastic Four race swaps will be bad, just wait for X-Men. It will be even called even men anymore. Yeah, you're right. They're going to, they're so extremely progressive at Disney, yeah? The animator who laughs, Kang is black and he is a descendant of Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, look, all I'm going to say to you is whatever color you are in the comics, stick to that color, right? So let's think of Black Panther. Imagine if Black Panther, how would you react if Black Panther was all of a sudden white? Think about that for a minute. Why is it okay one way, but not the other? Oh, because white actors have dominated, the industry, and there was more white comic book characters. That's just revenge. That isn't equality, is it? John, my favourite line from Smallville is, I'll always be there to stop you, Lex. Then he says, I'm counting on it. Oh, but I like the whole, let me see if I can recite the whole thing. Isaac Cruz Beneda, I don't have a lot of knowledge of the DC comics. Can you tell me who are the big Justice League villains? Example, being Darkseid. Look, I'm not that into the comics myself. I'm not a reader, to be honest, but there's a lot of different villains out there, of course. Rolo, I'm black, and all this race changes just makes my blood boil. Just use diverse characters from the material. Exactly. Abraham Herrera, I was thinking of going to the Wakanda Forever tonight. Good luck. Rather you than me. No disrespect. Right, let me try and recite the Lex and Clark scene from Smallville. I can't remember it all, but let me see. Hang on, I'll read this. CC, well, Jimmy Olsen was black in the Supergirl show, yeah, and I didn't like that either. Also, I agree with what you say, don't change the race of the characters, but I feel only prime characters, not main example, is Nick Fury. Alex Melvin, exactly, Rolo. They have so many black legends that they either don't use or sideline them. Exactly. It's hypocrisy. The animator who lost, more like Mid-Conda Forever, or what Nerdronic did, Woke Conda Forever, which was even better. Not that I don't like what you did there. Right, let's do the Smallville thing, right? Both be great men because of each other. We have a destiny together, Clark, only on different sides. And I'll always be there to stop you. Always. I'm counting on it. That's, of course, if you stop the threat that's coming. The big apocalypse, or whatever he says. And then Clark says, what? You know about Darkseid? I didn't just read the cliff notes of the Veritas journals. And then it then it does that. But what the best bit in that is when Clark goes, I'm sorry I wasn't able to save you, Lex. That's awesome. That is awesome. I can do it better. That was shit. Isaac Cruz Pineda, 1010 acting Mick. We will both be great men because of each other. We have a destiny together, Clark, only on different sides. I love that bit. I love the way Rosenbaum didn't even have any rehearsal time when he did that. The guy's sensational. And now he's just sitting there doing podcasts. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But he's good friends with James Gunn. He may make him Lex Luthor. Who knows? What? Did you think I just read the cliff notes of the Veritas journals? Alex Melvin, why doesn't Rosenbaum act anymore? I have no idea. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. He tried to do a few things after Smallville. They didn't really work out. And there could be many reasons. Maybe he doesn't like the industry. Maybe they've got some dirt on him and he's worried they're going to use it. I don't know. Isaac Cruz Beneda, how old is he now? Well, I would think he's about 45, around that, maybe approaching 50. Abraham Herrera, but he and Tom made enough money to be set for life with that show. Maybe they felt too comfortable after the show ended. No, I think look, these people want to act. These people are greedy. They don't care about that. CC, he's 50. Oh, okay. The legend CJ Rosenbaum was the greatest Flash as well in Justice League Unlimited. That's correct. Rhoda, did you see my comment? I don't know what you said. No, I can't see anything. CC, he did, Rolo. John, was Michael going to be in Crisis on Infinite Earths? Well, I'll tell you the story. They made him an offer. They didn't tell him how much he was going to get paid, where he had to be, or what he was going to be doing. So he refused to do it. And he told all the fans on Twitter when it happened. I am so relieved he wasn't on it because Berlanti would have shit it. He would have destroyed him just like he destroyed Tom Welling's Clark Kent and domesticated him because Greg Berlanti is obsessed with domesticating Superman. The animator who laughs. Ezra acts more like Wally than Barry. Isaac Cruz Beneda, Mick, what's the plot behind Crisis on Infinite Earths? Not very familiar on that one. Basically, there is a huge event that's going to destroy the whole of the multiverse. So all these heroes have to get together to stop it. CC, the question is career ending. Basically, Isaac, just go and watch Arrow versus Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's very cheap on DVD. We have 13 viewers. We have 7 likes. If you haven't smashed the like button, please smash the like button. I've just about been live for 1 hour and I'm still wide awake, which is amazing because sometimes I've spoken so much, I'm like, City, I'm so glad they included Lucifer in the Arrowverse. Yeah, I love Tom Ellis as Lucifer. Unfortunately, I got pissed off with the show once it went to Netflix. It wasn't the same show anymore. They skipped over a lot of stuff they started off in the first 2 seasons, so it was disappointing. Isaac Cruz, Beneda, hey mate, do you watch Mark Goldbridge? I do watch Mark. Mark follows me on Twitter. Well, he did. I don't know if he still does, because I know it's difficult for people to keep following me because I'm so opinionated. But he did follow me, and I'm also followed by John Boyega. Again, last time I looked, I was followed by John Boyega. Alex Melvin, how is Cyprus? I'm from UAE, and my dad always wanted to visit Cyprus. It's a beautiful country, especially southern Cyprus. Yeah, a very lovely place, family orientated, very safe. Although keep away from Limassol in the evenings. But yeah, no, it's a lovely place. Cece, honestly, Ryan is my favourite take on Constantine. I hate how they shoved him out. Yeah. He's amazing. That Constantine series is brilliant. Abraham Herrera, the TV crossovers weren't all that good. I think most of us checked out from the CW a long time ago. Yes, we did. As a DC fan, after Arrowverse seasons 1 and 2, after Arrow season 1 and 2, and the Flash season 1 and 2, no good. No good. I'm glad some people love it. It's not for me. I don't think it's meant for me, meant for my age group. I think it's, different gravy, isn't it? As a lot of people call it, the conversations in hallways. And it always make me laugh how they try and, when it's so transparent when the characters try and make it about them. I'm being tested here. It's all about me. Roller, I would like a good Legion of Superheroes live action series, but I don't trust modern day entertainment. Well, I thought Jeff Johns on Smallville wrote a brilliant Legion episode. I would love that too. Isaac Cruz, Pineda Robin has been trending in my Twitter recently. I wonder why. Alex Melvin, Rolo, what heroes are in Legion of Superheroes? I have heard of them before, but I don't know them. I can't remember their names, but literally they're from the future. And they put this ring on, the Legion ring, and they can travel in the future. And that's what happened in Smallville. It was really well done. Cece, who should be the new villain for Man of Steel 2? Brainiac? Well, it looks like we may be getting Lobo for Superman, but he's not a main villain, really, is he? So it could be Brainiac, it could be someone else. Isaac Cruz, Pineda, Lobo, CC Lobo would be great, actually. Alex Melvin, Metallo, yes, I'd love Metallo. Rolo, Lightning Lad, Satin Girl, and a lot of others. Yeah, there's a few of them. They got Rock. Is his name Rock? I mean, the Legion episode in Smallville is sensational because it was written by someone who understands DC and the comics. Alex Melvin, oh, thanks, Rolo. Abraham Herrera, if DC is serious about the multiverse approach, Bale's Batman should make a cameo at some point. It will make people lose their minds in the theatre, especially if they keep it a secret. Yeah, Bale is one of my favourite Batmen, and that would be amazing. He was a sensational Batman, and I'm sure he'll be interested in doing it. If you're willing to lower yourself and being for Love and Thunder, you're willing to do anything. And he was really good in Love and Thunder. He was literally the best thing about Love and Thunder, but they cut most of his fucking scenes. The whole thing was a total waste of time. The animator who laughs, Lobo will probably hunt down Superman because the main villain will put a bounty on him. Maybe something like that. But Lobo's a great character, so yeah, exciting. Alex Melvin, he only did 4 because of his daughter. He also got paid 20 million. Yeah, I realised that, but I didn't realise Christian Bale was like that. But it looks like he is. I don't believe it's because of his daughter. More to do with the 20 million, but he's got his choice of movies. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at Russell Crowe, and I'm surprised at him as well. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Bale would have been my favourite Batman, but his voice ruined it for me. Still love the movies, though. I'll never understand the hate over the voice. I never will. CC Adam Branchett is a character I think would be crazy good to be out for Marvel. Blue Marvel is insanely powerful. Alex Melvin. Yeah, that voice did not age well. I never minded the voice. Never minded the voice. But the internet hated the voice. So, unfortunately, that's where we are in modern day fandom. I'm Batman. I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you either. CC, I'm vengeance. Abraham Herrera, low, they have a lifestyle to maintain, Mick. Give them a break. I don't give millionaires a break. I give poor people a break. Alex Melvin, Russell Crowe is in a phase of his career where he just takes money. He's also going to be in Craven. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of roles for older actors. Well, I think there is. There's dads, isn't there? Of course, there's roles for older actors. Isaac Cruz, Beneda, do you believe in the Batman 2 they should introduce the white eyes as like a night vision type of deal? I'm not that. I don't care either way, to be honest with you. I'll be okay if they do and okay if they don't. Alex Melvin, career. Rolo, I heard John Campbell say that directors are staying away from gig stuff because they don't want to deal with fan backlash. No, not true at all. Because at the end of the day, if you don't shave upwards and if you don't do things that people, obvious things that people are going to hate, you won't get backlash. But yeah, directors have been getting backlash since the fucking 40s. So that's a stupid thing. That's basically Campy is just trying to sound clever. Of course, it's nonsense. I mean, look who directed the first fucking Thor movie. Abraham Herrera, Bruce Willis went through that same phase, lol, but God bless him, he's in bad shape right now. That's why he took those jobs. Isaac Cruz, Beneda, Snyder is protected. Not really. Snyder hasn't been protected at all, has he? That's why he's not running DC anymore. The animator who laughs, Taker admitted ruined the movie. Taker admitted he ruined the movie on purpose. Listen, look, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't even know how to respond. Because that's true. I don't, how does the same person respond to that? He, of course, didn't ruin the movie on purpose. He does as he's told. It was shit. End of. Alex Melvin, if you're worried about backlash, then you should not be in the entertainment industry at all. Yeah, there's no truth to that. There's no truth to that whatsoever. Campier doesn't know what he's talking about. He may have worked in the industry. I don't know what he did. Maybe he used to get the bread rolls for the directors or something. A lot of these fucking people who used to be on Collider claim, I used to be in the industry. Yeah, well, it didn't work out, did it? I should still be there. Abraham Herrera, it's not that he's protected. He's a hard worker, and his wife have a company to maintain. A lot of people would lose their jobs if Zach decides to take a vacation. Alex Melvin, Mick, have you seen Superman the animated series? I have seen bits and pieces of it. I think I definitely remember the Mixapixelic episode, but I haven't watched it religiously. But yeah, I've seen some of it. I've seen the Justice League, both the ordinary Justice League animated series and the Justice League Unlimited, which I do prefer because it's more modern. But the animation, most of the things in the animation with Bruce Timm's name on them are brilliant. I mean, the man co-created Harley Quinn, for Christ's sake. And why isn't he involved in DC today? Don't know. Maybe he's a bit too old. Maybe he's retired. I don't know. Isaac Cruz Pineda, have you seen Superman Man of Tomorrow 2020 animated film? Man of Steel 2 should take inspiration from that. I think I may have seen it. I just don't remember it. I think I've watched most of the modern animated movies. I've got a lot of them at home as well. John, I always found it funny that people did not realise Clark was Superman in Superman the movie. I've never understood that complaint. Why do you think that's strange? I mean, he acts so differently, right, when he's Clark, and he's so upstanding when he's Superman. Now, unless you've been, and I know Lois is kind of close to him, but basically, if I work with someone, in a place, who wore glasses, who trips over everything, why am I going to suddenly think, oh, that's Superman? I wouldn't click. So I never thought that was strange at all. You only think that because you know they're the same character, because you have that information, because you watch the movies and you know. But ultimately, people wouldn't guess he's Superman. He actually looks quite different as Clark Kent and acts different as Clark Kent. In terms of Superman the movie, that's why Chris made sure he played them both so differently. So if I was in that world, I wouldn't think Clark and Superman were the same person. I don't, and I don't think people would. And also, you've got to suspend disbelief as well, haven't you? Otherwise, you can't enjoy it. Otherwise, all these Superman shows where everyone knows who he is because people don't want it to be a secret because no one would believe it. Alex Melvin, do you think Superman should have the red underwear or not? I think he should not. It's not something that I've got, a really strong opinion on. I don't mind him having the red shorts as long as they're modernized in kind of size and stuff and design. But I don't mind him not having them. It's not something that really bothers me either way. Abraham Herrera, if Superman existed, it's not like we should get to take a good up close look at him. Nobody would know who he was. No, nobody. I mean, Lois Lane works with him closely. Okay. But Christopher Reeve's version is so different as Clark. There's no way. I mean, because of the way he acts. Because literally, he could be anyone. And I think that's what's so clever about Superman the movie and what they did. Clark does act and look differently to Superman. He's hunched over. So, and again, there's got to be an element of disbelief there. Just go with it. Just go with it, right? Don't use common sense. Alex Melvin, do you think we will ever get a Superman game? I think with the new DC studios and Zaslav needing to make money on everything, yes, I think we will now. I want to get the best Superman movie ever. That's what I want. But they need to think deeply about this because Superman isn't just a cool dude with powers in a costume. He's hope. And unless you get what he is, then you're going to mess it up. They need to think carefully. But I think we will get a Superman game and probably will come along with the next Superman movie. I think Zaslav is very different to what we've had in the past and will definitely get a Superman game. I think we did get a Superman Returns game, didn't we? I think it's difficult to make a good Superman game, by the way. I mean, the best Superman game I've ever seen is in Superman 3. Now, that was cool. And the graphics weren't too bad either. Isaac Cruz Pineda, tired of the whole evil Superman thing? Yes, I'm very tired of the evil Superman thing. Alex Melvin, very hard to make a Superman movie as well. It's very hard, but they're going to make one, so they're going to make sure. Yes, because I tell you what's against them. Then modern day movie makers, he's a fireman in the DC universe, a non-judgmental fireman, a hero. But you've really got to look. You've got to look at the past, but don't copy the past. Don't try and make Superman the movie because you still need the fast pacing for the modern era, but you do have to think deeply about it. We're definitely going to need the right director. The Legend CJ, how long do you think it will take to write the next Superman movie? I don't know how long it's going to take to write it. I don't think we'll see a Superman movie till 2025. Isaac Chris Beneda, should Superman be grossing $1 billion in the box office? Absolutely, Isaac. Definitely should be crossing that. And a Batman and Superman movie should be crossing $2 billion and making No Way Home money. Abraham Herrera, seriously, why don't we have tons of Superman content and products? That's a good point. I would play a good Superman game. On the other hand, Batman has lots of games. The Legend CJ, people don't understand Superman represents the best of humanity. I agree. Alex Melvin, 2025, I'm going to cry. Well, because they've got to make the thing, haven't they? I mean, we're nearly at the end of 2022. Don't forget that. So, and I don't think anyone wants them to rush this, do they, Alex? So it's important to be patient. I mean, I'm 50. That means I'll probably be 53 by the time we see it. So, yeah. Rolo, superheroes are about selflessness and thinking of other, and clear good versus evil. And modern Hollywood doesn't want that. That's the problem. You know, because they overthink it, they get it wrong. And I think you can applaud Man of Steel, but you can still say that isn't exactly Superman, is it? You can applaud Superman Returns and think, yeah, inconsistent film. So it's been a long time since someone in a movie has got Superman right to make him this popular figure like he was with Superman the movie and Superman 2. Alex Melvin, Henry shot his cameo in August. Why didn't they start development then? Well, I think, look, they just did it then, right? They just did the cameo. No, and it wasn't in August, it was in September, actually. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that was only done a few weeks ago anyway. So yeah, they're not going to just jump in. They need to get director, writer. So they needed this new structure, which they've got now to do it. But even if they did it a couple of months ago, my friend, it's still going to take a couple of years to do it. The legend CJ, Jonathan and Martha Kent deserve more praise due to their kindness. They were prevented Clark from being evil and abuse his power. That's true. John, did you hear that Owen Wilson is going to be in Deadpool 3? Doesn't surprise me. Obviously going to play the same character he does in Loki, I suppose. Not very exciting as far as I'm concerned. Just isn't my type of gravy. Doesn't get me. Ooh, yeah. Owen Wilson. Wow, how exciting. I'm not even that excited about Deadpool 3. Nothing Marvel is offering excites me. Because Marvel is literally the same, the same version of a different movie. So welcome to Movies TV Mad. We're here to talk about our geek. Rolo, Deadpool 3 looks exciting with Deadpool and Wolverine, but I don't trust Marvel anymore. They will put some agenda into it. Well, I think with Ryan Reynolds running things, it's very difficult for them to do anything. It's a bit different. And I don't think he's like that. So I think it will be okay. But yeah, I'm not overly excited for it. I've seen peak Wolverine. They should have just left Wolverine alone, but they won't do it. They'll keep on milking the cow, and that's the problem with Hollywood today. In fact, it's always been a problem with Hollywood. Alex Melvin, I love Superman, but what? Alex Melvin, I love Superman, but why do you think Superman doesn't attract the great directors and talent that Batman does? Nolan, Nicholson, Heath, Bale, Pattinson, Reeves, etc. The only Superman talent I call a legend is, well, I mean, I can reel off lots of Superman talent for you if you want. Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman, Marlon Brando, Kevin Spacey, Margot Kidder. I can go on. There's been lots of great stuff. Dick Donner obviously directed one Superman movie. I mean, listen, Zack Snyder's a very talented director. But yeah, I think Superman is very challenging. And Tim Burton was going to do a Superman movie, and then they stopped. They stopped him from making it. So there's been some very talented people involved in Superman. But unless a studio allows a film to be made, then those iconic people can't make the film. But there have been some very talented people involved in Superman. Isaac Cruz Pineda, money. Alex Melvin, oh yeah, Marlon Brando is a legend, but I'm only 19. Sorry, I don't know the rest. I mean, all you have to do is watch the movie and read the credits. But yeah, look, there's been a lot of talented people involved in Superman. But yeah, I mean, look, Richard Lester did a good job taking over from Dick Donner in Superman 2. Obviously they predominantly had the same cast, so whoever was involved in Superman the movie, was involved in Superman 2. Manette O'Toole was in Superman 3. She played Martha Kent in Look, there's lots of talented people that have been involved. But we had 4 Superman movies in the 80s and the late 70s. We then didn't have a Superman film for 20 years after Superman 4. So think about that for a minute. Isaac Cruz, Pineda, Cavill and Pattinson are both young, around the same age. Perfect Superman and Batman. Roland Mick, do you look at old Marvel and DC compared to now and think what the hell happened? Rolo, do you look at old Marvel and DC compared to now and think what the hell happened? Well, listen, I'm quite pleased with a lot of DC content we've had. I mean, the Batman, Joker, Man of Steel, BVS. I love this stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I like. The DCEU isn't a great franchise, as I keep on saying, but the films are really good and unique. And I think they will be remembered long after the MCU movies are remembered. People will just remember the MCU for the box office. They'll remember the DCEU for the movies. And the DCEU movies are going to age very, very well, because they're good. But we've had great DC movies recently. In terms of Marvel, it's just, look, it's just a money factory. The MCU is just a money factory. And that's the problem. So when people say, oh, look at Wakanda Forever, better reviews than Black Adam, more money, I don't care. That doesn't bother me, because I enjoy Black Adam. I'm not going to watch Wakanda Forever. Not for years. Not until it's out for home release. Isaac Cruz Pineda will be able to make tons of films in the future. Isaac Cruz Pineda, do you believe the DC heroes are stronger than the Marvel heroes? Well, I mean, it depends what you mean. I suppose in terms of powers, I don't know. I'm sure Marvel have got as stronger characters as DC. But in terms of internal strength, personality, character, interest to me, I do prefer the DC characters. Alex Melvin, who should direct that world's finest movie with Pattinson, Cavill, Mick and Isaac? The world's finest. Look, you'd have to find a director who understands these characters. There's many directors who could do it. There's many directors you could choose. Do you want to write a director? Do you want a director, then someone writing it separately? These are all the issues. The Legend CJ, who's a past actor you thought would have been a great superhero or villain? Oh, wow. That's a good one. Bruce Willis would have been a great superhero. I think Bruce Willis would have been a great Batman. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Mick, is the evil Lex Luthor and Pattinson and Henry will try to stop him, is my plot synopsis. Mick is the evil Lex Luthor and Pattinson and Henry will try to stop him, is my plot synopsis. Alex Melvin, ha ha ha, Isaac. Rolo, do you think Disney will lose money the way they are going? They've got a lot of IPs, haven't they? I think it's gonna stop. The money they were making under Iger and Alan Horn has gone down. Their content is subsiding in terms of quality. So yeah, it will be interesting times for Disney. Alex Melvin, Rolo, their stocks this year is the lowest it's ever been. Well, there you go then. Alex Melvin, directors saw how divided Man of Steel was and how much studio wants to meddle with a production they invest so much money in. So they are not interested having a fight for their movie. I don't understand what Alex is saying there. Abraham Herrera, Warner Brothers happened. They should have continued to make comics content throughout the 80s and 90s, but they only did the Superman films. And by the fourth film, they had washed out the character. Well, to be fair, Abraham, superheroes weren't a trend then, and they weren't interested in making them a trend. Different strokes, different folks, different eras, different decades. Alex Melvin, yeah, Alex, you're right. I still don't necessarily feel that superhero movies are a place for, a deep director's vision. I think this is why Dick Donner did so well. He kept Superman the way he was in the comics. And the creators of Superman, Siegel and Schuster, awarded him with a statue because they loved what he did. He respected what they created. That's the difference. So all this crap about a director's vision, but it depends on the fucking vision, doesn't it? John, one of my favourite night episodes is Kit versus Goliath. That's a cool one. Kit versus Car is good. And when Michael is in that explosion and he loses his memory, one of my favourites, because it's actually a personal story. We didn't have many personal stories in that show. Alex Melvin, yeah, we just need good blockbuster directors. Rolo, Disney owns too many IPs. I hope if they lose money, they will sell a number of them. Maybe it will save the industry. Alex, also directors see Superman as a mythological figure, and top directors want projects they can invest themselves in, but the studio wants Superman to appeal to everyone, so you can't have specific takes. Right, listen, Alex, this is what I'm going to say to you, right? Superman isn't a mythological character. He's an icon. He's a fantasy. He's someone who saves people and gives them hope. But these directors who want to make him a mythological figure or godlike figure have got the wrong take, and that's why those movies are failing. There's plenty of directors who would love to make a brilliant comic book accurate Superman. Plenty of directors, top directors, would love to get involved with Superman, as we can see from all the rumours about who's going to direct the next Superman movie. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Mick, I think Pattinson and Hawkman from Black Adam could become good friends due to their no-kill policies. Alex Melvin, Alex, do you think Spielberg would be good? I do. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Spielberg would be a dream come true. Alex, of course, it's not rocket science, is it? Alex Melvin, damn right, Isaac. I mean, Spielberg is one of the greatest, right? I'd love Spielberg directing and talking about Superman, you know, in interviews and stuff. It'll be my fucking wet dream. It'd be amazing. Who wouldn't want that? Come on. Anyone who doesn't want that, I can't deal with you. I simply can't deal with you. Smash the like button. 12 followers, only 9 measly likes. You guys are so extremely tight with the likes. Anyone would think I'm charging for the likes. The Legend CJ, who are your top 3 DC directors of all time? Definitely Richard Donner. I think definitely Tim Burton. It's interesting, isn't it? Because there's so many good ones. Who do I give the other one to? I mean, I don't know who the third one would be. That's the thing. I'd have to think about the third one. Alex Spielberg would be good for a classic crowd-pleasing Superman. That's what we need. We need a classic crowd-pleasing Superman, not a Superman that divides the audience. Alex Melvin, what's your favourite Spielberg movie? Mine is Tintin. It's not his best, but I love it. I love Tintin, but my favourite is E.T. It's everything. It ticks every box for me. It's a beautiful film. Isaac Creed Pineda, would the new Superman film be a continuation of Man of Steel or a new beginning, Mick? That's the big question, isn't it? That's what we're waiting to find out. I think it's a possibility. It may be a reboot, but who knows? Abraham Herrera, Duel is Spielberg's first studio movie, and it's amazing. If you can make a rusty truck feel like a good villain, you can do anything. Spielberg's a genius. Alex, I wish people were as open to new takes on Superman as they are with new takes on Batman. Well, listen, I don't really want to. I mean, listen, Batman is great. And Matt Reeves gave a faithful comic book take on that character, right? And people loved it. And it made around 107. What was it? What did it make? 750 million in the box office. Not bad. But why should people be open to new takes of Superman? People love Superman because he's a hopeful, inspirational, pure character. Not because he's a devil having bright red lasers coming out of his eyes. Not because, you know, he's Batman in a cape, right? Superman is Superman, right? So you can add something new to the films, but the character must remain the character that people have always loved. And there's an arrogance about this. Why can't Superman have a new take? Because we like Superman the way he is already. The Legend CJ, why do you think people now want the Boy Scout Superman instead of Evil's version? Well, without being rude to you, the legend CJ, don't you think that's a bit of a silly question? Superman is a Boy Scout. We love him for being a Boy Scout. Why is there something wrong with him being a good person? And why would we want? Why would we want? Who would want? What sane person would look at a pure person who gives them hope and want them to be an evil Superman? Your question just doesn't have any logic to it, the legend CJ. Isaac Cruz Benado, I think it's due to the fact that Superman is a bigger figure. Alex Melvin, Alex, some people want him to be a campy himbo, basically when Superman can be so much more. No, what do you want him to be? Alex, what do you actually want him to be then, right? What do you actually want him to be? You don't want him to be a good person then. You want him to be some flipping, do you want him to be some evil geezer? Why is that good? Why does that work? That is not who Superman is. It's not about a himbo. Superman is Superman. I got through my childhood because Superman was a pure inspirational hero. That's who he is, right? And no modern day people are going to change that. Alex Melvin, 770 million. Alex, MOS is only divisive because of how iconic Donna Superman is. Ironically, those films are currently holding Superman back because of how iconic they are. No, listen to me, because I'm going to speak very slowly to you. Richard Donner's Superman represented Superman from the comics accurately. Man of Steel was still a better take than BVS for Superman because he did smile at times. He was hopeful at times. He had a great relationship with Lois and Martha not because of Zack Snyder, because of Christopher Nolan and David Goyer. But once they left, Snyder took Superman totally to the darkest direction he could. So, no, I would say that the Snyderverse has held Superman back because that's why we didn't see him after Justice League, because of these controversies. Superman isn't evil Superman. Superman is a hopeful figure, Alex. So you're letting your bias get to you. You clearly don't understand who Superman is. To you, Superman is the Snyder Superman. That's the problem. Alex Melvin, I want him to be Superman from the Justice League cartoon. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Boy Scout Superman would be amazing. Isaac Cruz Pineda, all too kind for his own good. No one can be too kind for their own good, my friend. Alex, no, he didn't mix. Superman the movie makes up powers constantly. Here we go. Here comes the bullshit to defend the other version. Let's start, Alex. No, he didn't mix. Superman the movie makes up powers constantly. That doesn't exist in the comics, but you haven't read comics, have you, Mick? Alex, you're just another Snyderverse cultist propaganda merchant. That's all you are. There were no made-up powers in Superman the movie, right? And no, I haven't read a lot of comics, but I know who fucking Superman is. I know who he is. And I know he's not an evil fucker in a cape. He's not someone who has bright red fucking laser and looks like the fucking devil, right? I know that Superman isn't meant to be a negative character who hates being Superman, right? We all know, everyone here knows, right? You're being ultra defensive, trying to defend a vision that's divisive. I love Snyder's movies. I don't mind his take on Superman so much, but it isn't who the character is. And we all know that, Alex. Even you as a Snyder fan should be able to have a balanced conversation about this. But this is what you people do. You hate on the Donner and the Reeves version. This is the problem. You lie that Superman killed the three villains from Krypton in Superman 2. You will stoop to any level to prove that the Snyder Superman is better than the Richard Donner Superman. You're never going to win. Superman the movie is a pop culture icon about a pop culture icon. Factual. Superman the movie has inspired directors to grow up and become directors. That movie is huge and you're never going to shoot it down. It's like Nixon hating Kennedy for being popular. The legend CJ. And yeah, don't start coming in on me about not reading comics because that's fucking irrelevant, right? You can't win against me because I've got facts on my side. Don't make up bullshit to win a debate. I don't mind debating with you, but don't come up with the normal Snyder cultist bullshit because I'm not having it, right? The legend CJ. I like Snyder, but he doesn't understand Superman. I hope he's not directing the sequel. Isaac Cruz, but when Superman broke Zod's neck, that was it for me. Yeah, it was ridiculous. You literally couldn't take a child to see Superman because of it. Alex, but you're being biased, bit because Superman isn't evil in Snyder's movies. Okay, then. So he doesn't want to murder the whole Justice League when he comes back to life then. And then we see him, and then we find out he's under Darkseid's control. That's at least twice, my friend. Alex, this is why you don't get views. It's because you are too argumentative and don't encourage healthy discussion. Well, listen, I don't care if I don't get many views. I keep on coming back to make more videos and live. So clearly it doesn't bother me, and I'm happy with what I've got, my friend. At the end of the day, I do allow you to have your opinions. I've read umpteen opinions. The problem with your opinion, it's biased, and you're actually putting down something that I love. I've actually told you that I like and respect Zack Snyder on multiple occasions, right? But you're putting down the Superman I fucking grew up with, right? And I'm fed up of you Snyder fans putting what I grew up with down because you don't get who Superman is. To you, it's a bubble. Snyder, Snyder, Lord Snyder, Lord Snyder, kissy, kissy, Lord Snyder. You can do no wrong. That's the problem with you lot. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. How dare you think you can come in here and put down what I love to build up what you love? Alex, you do care about views because you wouldn't be here looking for attention speaking to people online. But listen, I've been here since 2018, literally with the same subscribers and the same views, right? I only share my video once. But now, because you lost the Snyder argument, you're trying to go on something else. Alex, I'm too intelligent for you. You're wasting your time. You're going to get a headache. But you can keep on trying. You lost the debate because your biasness towards Lord Snyder. Do you have an icon of him? Do you kiss the icon before you go to bed? Don't try it with me, Alex. Don't try it. You're welcome here, but don't be a twat. Do not be a twat. Right? End of story. John, people of all ages know who Superman is. Isaac Cruz Pineda, he's an icon. Alex, I've not even said anything negative about the Donner films. Right, I think I'm not going to read Alex's comments anymore. The Legend CJ, look, I don't mind debating with someone, but when they deny the undeniable, it's ridiculous. I love Zack Snyder. He makes stunning movies. That's not the issue here. I don't even hate his Superman. That's not the point. You came after my Superman first, saying crap about in Superman the movie that they create powers that he hasn't got. It's just ridiculous. I can't I can't bang my head against a brick wall with these people. The Legend CJ, some of these Snyder cultists damage the DC brand and humiliate real DC. And we're moving away from all that. We're moving away from the Snyder fans. Brand new universe. It's over. Love you, Zack Snyder, but it's over. Alex, I couldn't give a shit if my channel grows or not. Have you seen my house? You've seen how big my house is. I've got 5 bedrooms here, right? I've got 4-acre land, which this house sits on. I've got a swimming pool as well. It doesn't really matter how many people watch me. I love the sound of my own voice. I'd do this video if I had 0 views. That's how fucking nuts I am. It doesn't matter, Alex. All the best. The animator who lost, sorry for my bad takes, Mick. I hope your channel succeeds one day. No, I don't mind your takes at all. Alex, Superman literally turns back time in the movie and that has never existed in the comics. Yes, but he's fast enough in the comics to do it. He has the ability to do it. Now, we know that couldn't happen in real life. Basically, right, you can carry on trying to say that Zack's Superman is better than Dick's Superman, but Dick Donner made a pop culture icon about a pop culture icon being faithful to who the character is in his heart and his soul. And we've all grown up loving it. My nephews and nieces, right, who are all teenagers now, love that Superman as well. So you cultists aren't representing modern day young fans. But I don't mind. I love Zack Snyder. This is the problem. I love Zack Snyder. That's not the point. The point is you're trying to come at something that I love, and I won't have it. Not on my platform. Alex, it's not criticism to our pals which aren't in the comics, but you said that those movies were faithful to the comics and they aren't. Yes, they are. Shall I tell you how they're faithful to the comics? This is why you can never win against me, Alex, or none of you cultists can, because the character, they're faithful to who Superman is. Not to every single second or moment, right? But they're faithful to the character. Now, the Zack Snyder Superman isn't faithful to who Superman is. End of story. That's the end. That's what I mean, right? So you're trying to twist the narrative to get above me, but you can't because I've got it up here. Now, don't judge me how I look. I'm a lot smarter than how I look. I've been around the block. Now, if you were debating and you could, you come up with a point that to actually make you wrong, I would admit to it. But this is an argument that Snyder fans make all the time. Love what you love and leave my Christopher Reeve and Dick Donner alone. They created something amazing. And by the way, Richard Donner's flying of Superman is actually superior to what we see in the Snyder movies. We barely even see Superman fly in the Snyder movies, right? Was Superman famous for flying? And basically, Dick Donner didn't have CGI like Zack Snyder has, but look at some of the stuff he did, which is still superior today. Undeniable. Hey Mick, I hope this Lobo thing is not the big project everybody's expecting. They're supposed to come out with a bang with this new DC. Well, Lobo is a Superman villain, Abraham, so he may appear in the next Superman movie, and I'd be quite excited to see a Lobo movie. But yeah, it's a new universe, and lots of things are going to happen. Big things are going to happen. But I think that's what Jason Momoa is getting excited about. If he was to play Lobo, I don't mind him getting excited. I mean, I would be as well. Alex Melvin, Mick, I like you. Please don't hate me, but do you honestly think Campy Superman will be a hit with today's audiences? My whole generation laughed at Wonder Woman 84. Alex Melvin, Campy's just a nice way of saying cringe. Right, Alex, let me explain something to you, right? You can't remake Superman the movie. You can't make a Superman movie in the same pacing or style, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can make a kind, pure Superman that inspires people. That doesn't mean you make the same Superman movie that was made 40 or 50 years ago. That's not the point. So people, when I'm talking, right, like when I read your messages and I read exactly what you're saying, so we can't twist it to say, oh, but do you think a campy film would work? It's not about a campy film. It's about keeping Superman, the character, as Superman. Alex Melvin, Campy's the legend CJ Samoa would play Lobo and Aquaman. Well, maybe not Aquaman. Alex Melvin, oh, okay, my bad, I misunderstood. But that will never stop me loving Superman the movie or Superman 2 or even Superman 3. And I even still have love for Superman 4, even though it's not a great movie. The point is, don't strike what people love, right? Don't strike at what people love. Don't try and be a smart ass, right? At the end of the day. Because I love Zack Snyder. I love his DC movies. I think he's a very talented visionary. He makes great art. I've never had an issue with Zack Snyder. I enjoy watching his Superman. But he's not exactly the Superman we know and love. And, you know, people can say, well, in about 6 movies, he would have been. Why do you need to wait 6 movies? Come on. Abraham Herrera, so Jason is going to play 2 characters in the same franchise. That's going to be strange. Maybe not. Maybe he is playing Lobo, maybe he's not, but maybe he's playing Lobo, and in the new DC universe, we're going to get a comic book accurate Aquaman. Who knows? Alex Melvin, that wasn't me, that was the other Alex. But Alex Melvin, I'm Alex Melvin. Yes, I know. Your name's there. Oh my God, I still haven't even got 10 likes. This is pathetic. I've nearly been live, constantly talking, answering your comments for 2 hours, and you can't freaking at least give me 10 likes. This is ridiculous, man. Yes, sometimes I am going to argue when people try and be smart. Isaac Cruz Banana, Alex made people leave. Well, there's no need to leave. It's fun. It's a bit of entertainment. Alex Melvin, no, but you said I want Snyder. I do not. I didn't say that at all. I was talking about the other Alex. Listen when people talk. Listen. Listen. Like I read your messages properly. Don't misconstrue what people are saying to you. Because just because someone's cleverer than you and is able to answer the points and you can't twist the narrative like Gen Z like to do today, that isn't my fault. That isn't my problem. I'm just too clever. It won't work with me. I'm a straight talker. I'm very direct and I'm very honest about things. So at the end of the day, I don't want a campy Superman. I want Superman to be Superman. That's it. Now, I'm not saying you want Snyder. I love Snyder. I love Snyder. That's not the point. We're having a debate. And then the other Alex brought in about the original Superman making up powers. And I was, in terms of comic book accuracy, I was talking about who Superman is. And he attempted to twist the narrative. Then you asked me, would I really want a campy Superman film? Now, you know full well, and I know you pretended to misunderstand, but you know damn well that wasn't what I was talking about. I was talking about a faithful adaptation of who Superman is. So just people can't outsmart me. I'm too clever. I'm too clever. I mean, I'm definitely too clever for people on the internet. Not that people on the internet are that smart. I mean, some people are. Some people on here are quite clever. But a lot of people are not. And then they try and be clever. But they can't be clever with me. We all, look, true Superman fans and people who remember Superman from their childhoods want the character to be comic book accurate. They don't want evil Superman. They don't want like huge, they don't want his eyes looking like the devil when the heat vision's coming out. And they don't want Batman in a cape. Henry Cavill has already made this stance, so it's happening. We're moving away from that Superman. Henry Cavill's already made that clear. So going back to Christopher Reeve's Superman, just because he's popular and more popular than the modern day Superman films, that's not Christopher Reeve's fault. That's not Dick Donner's fault. But because they're popular, Snyder fans try and attack them. And it doesn't work. Superman didn't murder Zod, Ursa, and Non in Superman 2. There's no bodies. There's no proof of that. And Superman the movie didn't create new powers. So it's okay, right? End of story. It's an iconic movie. Nothing can change the fact that Superman the movie is the ghost hanging over other Superman movies. People loved that movie. That movie was amazing in a time without CGI, you know, where everything mostly had to be done in the camera. I mean, there was a few effects houses, but that's it. The Legend CJ, it would make sense after Flashpoint to recast a lot of characters if Gunn wanted to restart. I would prefer to restart. I think we need to disengage from the DCEU. I wouldn't mind a reboot whatsoever, but I don't have any idea what they're going to do. But I certainly think a reboot wouldn't be the most crazy thing to do because the DCEU hasn't worked. We look at the box office of the movies. And people can say, oh, yeah, but it did this and that. But, you know, these people want to make $1 billion a movie. Only one DCEU movie has made $1 billion. That ain't good enough. And the Justice League situation, just ridiculous. So I'm going to be on. I'm going to stay here live for the next 10 minutes. Then I will wrap up. We've nearly been here for 2 hours. I've really enjoyed the live chat, even the kind of spat I had with Alex. This is what it's all about, reacting live. And sometimes you just can't. Abraham Harrell, what happens is nobody has dethroned the OG Superman. Henry is close. Everybody loves him as Superman, but he has yet to lead an iconic Superman accurate movie. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to keep Superman pure, give him a little personality. There's ways of doing that. But, you know, you've got to want to do that. And I think we're at a stage now where they understand they can't mess around. You've got to. Unfortunately, we're in a very cynical society. So the filmmakers are very cynical. Oh, we can't make him too nice, right? Because nice people are too, this is the world we live in. We live in a very cynical world. The generation's cynical, and this is the problem. And, he isn't Jesus. He isn't God. He's just a kid who came to Earth as a kid. All he knows is mankind and Earth and living in Kansas. So he's a very pure guy who's been brought up with some very old-fashioned American values. And that's what makes him great. Gianni, did you like the decision of using the OG Soups theme for Henry Cavill? Well, listen, it's a very interesting conversation and question that you've asked me, because personally, I wouldn't have. I love the original theme. It's iconic, and it's when you hear that theme, you do think Superman. Now, personally, if I was continuing with the old DCEU, I wouldn't use that theme from a bygone era. Personally, I can understand why some cultists are upset about that. But if this is a rebooted Superman, then obviously they can use that music. So we don't have enough information. I mean, I think the guy who did the score for Black Adam actually did a really good version of the theme. Alex Melvin, they combined the OG and the Zimmer. They didn't do that. No. It was just the OG. Alex Melvin should combine. I don't want them to combine. I don't mind both themes being in one movie, but hopefully this won't be an issue if it's a reboot anyway. I think we've heard Henry Cavill loud and clear. The Snyder version isn't his cup of tea. That Snyder Superman isn't something that he likes either. I mean, he likes Man of Steel, but that's not Snyder. Snyder just directed that. Nolan and Goyer wrote the narrative for that movie. But we're definitely going forward with a more hopeful Superman. Everyone's saying it. So even if Snyder fans don't like it, they don't have a choice in the matter. Go and rewatch Man of Steel. Go and rewatch BVS. You've got a trilogy of movies there. Some people don't even get that. Dick Donner only got to make one Superman movie. Abraham Herrera, it didn't bother me that Superman snapped Zod's neck. What bothered me was how they decided to kill Park Kent. That really bothered me, but I love MOS nonetheless. Yeah, I didn't mind the Park Kent death, to be honest. I thought it was very heroic and sacrificial. And what you do in that tornado sequence, you see him being a hero. You see him beckoning people to the underpass. So I found that very inspirational. You can understand why Superman's a hero, because his father's being a hero and he sacrifices himself as well. Michael Quagga, please, it's DCU, not DCEU. We know, but when I'm talking about the old DCEU, I say DCEU, yeah. Isaac Cruz, Pineda, DCEU dead? I think so. God, dear, it's one of those evenings, isn't it? It's like when I used to work in a supermarket and you've got a few iffy customers. No, that's not how you cut the ham off the bone. I don't want doorsteps, I want finless sliced ham. John, I wish Dr. Fate had the eye holes in the helmet in Black Adam. Yeah, look, I didn't particularly enjoy the way they showed us Brosnan in the helmet like they do with Iron Man. I preferred that they didn't do that in the Smallville episode, by the way, because I thought they were trying to be a bit MCU-like there. Didn't kind of like that. Please smash the like button. I'm going to be on air for another 6 minutes. Isaac Cruz Pineda, that didn't really bother me, John. I love the suit. Alex Melvin, do you think when the new Superman comes out, Snyder fans will review bomb it? Of course. That's what they're like. They'll try. It's not. Listen, nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to work. What they try, it's over for them. Enjoy that trilogy of films. Be normal, ordinary human beings. Kiss your Snyder icons before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning. I love Zack Snyder, by the way. I'm just being a little bit obtuse, but it's done. You can do what you like online. People can mouth off online. It's done. It didn't work as a mainstream bunch of movies, but they were great movies that should have been Elseworld movies. Snyder should never have been running a mainstream thing. And, you know, we keep on going on. We go round in circles about this thing because it's over. It's over. Game over. They're moving on. They're moving forward. New universe because they want to make lots of money. That's the thing. You know, they make DC movies for money. It ain't a fucking charity. Abraham Herrera, it's not all bad in the future. There will be documentaries and movies about the old DCU. I think it's going to age well, especially Snyder's movies. Yes, Snyder made great movies, no question about that. But they were never meant, and he never made them for a mainstream audience. And that's the problem, because that franchise was commissioned for a mainstream audience. Otherwise, they wouldn't have removed Snyder in the first place. Because if Batman versus Superman made $2 billion in the global box office, even if people hated it to bits, WB would have literally given Snyder the freedom of the studio. Johnny, I love Snyder's movies. However, he shouldn't have killed off Superman in BVS as he didn't have enough develop. Well, I've commented that a Superman rebirth story in a Justice League movie simply doesn't work, in my opinion. Michael Quagua, is Jason Momoa cast as Lobo? We don't know. If so, is he going to act in two places in the same universe? I don't think he'll be playing both Aquaman and Lobo in the new universe. Gianni, development. Look, I don't like arguing with people, but at the end of the day, when someone tries to be, you know, clever and try and prove a point, even though that point can't be proven, and it's the insistence, it's the going round in circles. You know what I like. You know I'm not going to like you putting down the Dick Donner, Christopher Reeve movies, but you're doing it just to build up the stuff that you like. And I don't want to hear it. I don't mind a debate, a proper old-fashioned debate. And we can have that. And we can agree to disagree. But, you know, Abraham Herrera, he did say Maestro, and I wonder who he was talking about. I'm assuming that Jason Momoa calls whoever's in charge Maestro. He's called Zack Snyder Maestro before. But at the end of the day, I don't, you know, who knows? It's obvious. Look, obviously the studio told him to tease whatever he was teasing. Who knows? It may have nothing to do with Lobo, but it was a coincidence that Gunn teased Lobo 24 hours later. But who knows? It could be absolutely anything, and I'm not going to dismiss anything. But I think people are making a bit too much of the Maestro thing. But we will see who's right and who's wrong. Alex Melvin, unpopular opinion, Jason Momoa is a bad actor. No, he isn't a bad actor. He just isn't William Shakespeare. He isn't Robert De Niro. But he's a solid enough actor. I wouldn't say he's a bad actor. He's just not, you know, that level. You know, he's mid-level. But he's not a bad actor at all. I've never seen anything he did, and I wasn't convinced by him. He convinced me he's Aquaman. He convinced me of his character in Game of Thrones. I never ever thought, oh no, you're unconvincing as an actor. And that's the point. An actor is supposed to convince you of what they're doing. Scott Edwards, so what is the tease for Justice League 2? There is no tease for Justice League 2. There was a rumor that Andy Muschietti is going to direct Aquaman 2, but that's basically old news from the Walter Hamada era. The Legend CJ, if Al Pacino was casted as a superhero, who do you think he'd be? Oh, well, in his day, oh my God, when he was younger, Maybe probably the Blue Beetle, the Latino Blue Beetle. Alex Melvin, I like Aquaman the movie a lot. James Wan is a genius, but do you not think Aquaman, the main character, was mid in it? No. I thought he was very well represented. He worked. That is the Jason Momoa Aquaman style. You either like it or you don't. But I don't think he was mid in it at all. John, do you think the Restore the Snyderverse hashtag will continue once we get to the new DCU? I think the Restore the Snyderverse hashtag will carry on even after Zack Snyder regressively isn't with us anymore. I think it's just one of those things. It's never going to end, is it? It's never going to end. They're never going to stop. It's one of those things. It's one of those unfortunate things. But I think if this new franchise and universe is successful, John, the noise would be dimmed down a lot. If they fail with the movies again, then those people's voices will get louder and louder and louder. So I hope you enjoyed the live tonight. We'll be wrapping it up in a minute. If you've got anything else to say it now or forever hold your peace. But yes, this is a channel where I will stand my ground if I disagree with something. I am not here to go, and I really don't give a shit about views. I really don't. Alex Melvin, if you had to give an estimate how many people actually want and support Restore the Snyderverse, I always hear about them, but never actually see them. Well, look, there's clearly a lot of people out there who support Restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, of course. There's bots in every movement and every hashtag. That's irrelevant. There's a big group of people. Do I think there's enough of them to have $1 billion movie, every Snyder movie? No. And this is the thing. They want something that the central mainstream audience are attracted to. And that isn't Zack Snyder. And, he made 3 films and they were great. That's that. It is what it is. As I say, some directors will never make a DC film who want to make a DC film. Zack got 3 movies. That's more than most people. You have to look at the positives in a situation. The early franchise wasn't run properly. The way they got rid of him was ridiculous, right? But it became the conversations around Snyder were so toxic, they didn't know what to do next. Comic book writers and artists hated his take. Lots of people who watched his movies hated his take. It was very difficult for them to keep with him. Alex Melvin, I think the media should stop covering them so they can hopefully fade away. As I say, they won't fade away, but if this new franchise is successful, the noise will be quietened down. And ultimately, I don't care. If I watch DC, I love it. I don't care what other people say or what they do. I don't need them to be silenced because I'm not scared of opposing views. I'm not, and they don't even oppose. I mean, the problem is with them, it's not that they're supporting something that they want. It's the lies and the propaganda that they spread about other people's works. The toxicity they try to spread about Matt Reeves, the Batman. They're still calling that film a flop. Lie. They're still saying that Superman murdered the 3 villains from Krypton. Lie. This is what happened with young Alex, not you, my friend, but the other Alex, where he was trying to create kind of imaginary situations to get above of me on the debate. And that's what I didn't like. Because even if you can prove that Superman killed the 3 villains from Krypton, it doesn't mean anything, ultimately. It doesn't mean anything. Those films, especially the first 2, are beloved films, right? We grew up on them. That was the first blockbuster Superman films, Superman 2, and they were iconic, and they were able to achieve things that, could Zack Snyder make a great Superman movie with CGI? Could he achieve what Dick Donner did without CGI? These are the questions that Snyder fans don't like to answer. Alex Melvin, why do you think they shield Snyder so much? Well, I think they love the guy. They're in a bubble. They're in a bubble. They're in a fandom bubble. And all they think, or they eat, drink, and shit, Zack Snyder. And I've been there before with certain actors where I've been obsessed with them as a young guy. And that's okay. That's a normal thing. But the point is, it's the way you support someone. And making up shit about other franchises isn't the way to do it. Abraham Herrera, I remember you and I had some arguments in the beginning, but it's all in the past. We all understand each other here and know how to discuss. It's all about that. It's all about honesty. You can support what you want. You can say, I love Zack Snyder's DC movies. I love Zack Snyder's DC movies. I really do. And I think they'll be remembered for a long time. Great achievements. But we also have to understand that who Superman is, who Batman is. And we need to get back to that. And we need to get back to, he did a really great job with Wonder Woman, who he got her truly right. But at the end of the day, when you're having Batman and Superman killing, then, especially with Batman kills a lot in BVS. He does things that Batman in the comics would never do. And this upset Batman fans. Now, I love Ben Affleck's Batman in BVS, but Snyder took liberties with these characters, and that's the thing. And that's what people got angry about. Alex Melvin, yeah, but it doesn't make sense. Even Nolan does not have this kind of stand base. It's true. It's true. It is a bit odd. It is. I don't understand why. I don't. And it was a sudden thing because when people were slaughtering BVS, his stands were nowhere to be seen. Then all of a sudden, after Justice League, people started to rise up. So I don't get it, but he does have fans. It is like a bit of a religious cult with some people. I admire him. I fought for release the Snyder Cut, but I've never been on that level because I'm here for DC, not for one director, and that's who I am. But if you want to stand one director, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But it's the way you do it. You don't have to put down Matt Reeves is the Batman. I've seen it. How can you be a serious person? How can I take you seriously if you're telling me Matt Reeves the Batman was a flop when the film cost $100 million to make? And it cost $100 million to make because there's barely any action in it, and it's a character-driven movie, and it's fucking good. It's fucking good. It made a huge profit. Now, people are trying to add the COVID shutdowns to its budget, but I don't care. That film originally cost $100 million to make, and it made a healthy profit. No crossovers, no Easter eggs or anything. It was literally a new take, and it made good money, right? And that was when COVID was more of a thing when that film was released as well, because that film was released in March. So people were still scared to go to cinemas. I think if COVID had, if we got to this, if it was released at this time of year, I think Matt Reeves, the Batman, would have got a lot closer to $1 billion. Alex Melvin, Snyder movies are flops, if anything, except BVS and 300 and Dawn of the Dead. Right. A flop is a movie that doesn't make a profit. So Man of Steel made a profit. BVS made a profit. And Zack Snyder's Justice League, I'm not saying that film made a profit because that cost them a lot of money. They made they gave Snyder 70 million. Now, in terms of Zack Snyder's Justice League getting 70 million, that I believe that maybe that film broke even, but because that film wasn't released in cinemas, it's a bit unfair to talk about its profitability. I think Snyder's first two movies made a healthy profit, but the studio wanted more. Superman should be making more. Michael Cagwell, are you trying to say that James Gunn has spoken with Matt Reeves? They decided that the Batman should as well be in DCU Studios under James and Peter. I'm not trying to say it, Michael. James confirmed that today, so it's not a rumor. He did talk to Matt Reeves, and every piece of DC content, not just Matt Reeves' work, if it's DC, it's under the banner of DC Studios. That doesn't mean Matt Reeves, the Batman, is part of the new DC universe, right? That franchise, it can still be separate, but they're all under the same production, the same studio, which is right. Alex Melvin, and don't forget China. Omicron was huge in China, which was a bummer for Batman. box office. Past Batman films have made 200 million plus in China. This is what I'm saying. Now, let's be absolutely clear. What it made wasn't terrible. But yeah, we're talking about March. March, COVID was still a problem. Actually, Matt Reeves, the Batman, did sensationally well. And Matt Reeves made sure they didn't day and date it. He never wanted that. That's why he delayed the release date. He didn't want day and date. So Matt Reeves, the Batman, is a hit. It's critically acclaimed. And Batman fans really liked it. But, you know, people like Boba, who's got his own YouTube channel, huge obsessive Batman fan, loves it. Batman stans loved that movie. It made good money. The responses to it were more, I personally think, more favorable than BVS. But I like BVS personally. But to sit there as a serious person and say that Batman is a flop is a fucking joke. The film is not a flop. End of story. So you make a great point about the China Omicron yen. So yeah, China is a huge market. Unfortunately, with China, sometimes you're not going to be able to release your movie there, whether there's Omicron or not. It's just a gamble. It's like Black Adam. Black Adam was unlucky, couldn't be in China. But you always know when you release your movie, there's a good 50-50 chance you may not be released in China. It's part of the industry, and the industry understand that. Alex Melvin, I used to love Boba until he started shilling Batgirl and attacking his fans for not supporting him. But Batgirl was never seen. I don't understand. What was he saying about Batgirl then? You mean the movie that was shelved? Well, I think, listen, right, there's people with attitudes who are saying it shouldn't have been shelved, this is disgusting, and look, if that's his attitude, that's up to him. But I don't believe, right, that, Alex Melvin, he was mad that fans were happy it got cancelled. Right, let me explain to you what he was saying. Right, I wasn't happy it was cancelled. I feel bad for the directors and everyone who made that film. I think what he's saying is people actually, celebrating it being shelved isn't a good look. And I think that's what he's talking about. Now, in terms of being shelved, there was some very logical reasons for its shelving, but I took no pleasure in its shelving. So that's the difference. So I don't think people should, I don't either think people should take pleasure in people's hard work being shelved. But in terms of protecting the DC brand, which Zaslav explained he was doing, I do believe ultimately, sadly, it was the right decision. But I think what Boba was attempting to say is, you shouldn't be happy about it, right? Because people worked hard. But in terms of the shelving, I wasn't triggered by it. I called it, months and weeks before it happened. There was no release date. There was no information. Even when the directors were saying, yeah, it's happening and all that, I suspected there was something going on. Nobody believed me because no one ever believes anything I say. And I was right yet again. But I was never smug about somebody's work, a bunch of people's work being shelved. Abraham Herrera, got to go, Mick. Yeah, I'm going to be going soon as well, Abraham. Thank you for coming in. If I do go see Wakanda Forever, I'll let you know how it went. Take care. You let me know what you thought. I'm very intrigued what people think about movies, of course. So thank you. Alex Melvin, I see what you're saying, but during a live chat, a fan brought up the bad suit and the poor test audience has got, and he lost it and called the fan a misogynist. Yeah, that isn't good. That isn't good. I didn't actually think Melvin, I didn't realise Boba would talk like that. I mean, as you can see with the situation with Alex, although I got really animated, I never became insulting. All right, I called him a cultist, apart from that, but I did try and keep it on the level. But so, at the end of the day, right, but this is what I'm talking about. When progressives go down misogynist, right? Because at the end of the day, it isn't the fact that Batgirl is a woman that was the issue. Batgirl is actually a very popular character with comic book fans. Very popular. She's not that, her popularity isn't far away from like kind of top 10, 11, 12 DC characters. So she's very, very popular. But that's why David Zaslav was talking about protecting the DC brand. Now, in terms of the suit, I never had an issue with this. I mean, listen, the suit doesn't look amazing. I think it could have been better, but I think within the story, the whole idea is that she's wearing a startup suit. So, yeah. Now, in terms of a fan saying about, and listen, I don't know what context the fan was talking in. So maybe the fan said something else that triggered Boba as well. But in terms of those points that you're bringing up, I wouldn't have gone for someone for that. But Boba doesn't seem like that kind of guy. So I think maybe that guy maybe added a bit more meat into that conversation. Alex Melvin, nah, but he name called you, so you had the right. Yeah, I mean, I forgot what he called me. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I won't hold any grudges against him if he wants to come in again. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. But yeah, he started talking about followers and not getting any followers because I argue. Listen, if I don't agree with you, I'm not going to argue with you. The point is, if you go after something I love, Superman the movie stopped me from ending my life as a child. I looked into that actor's eyes and I believed he was a good person. And that meant a lot to me as a child. I had a very lonely childhood. Now, my mum and dad were lovely people. They looked after me, but I felt lonely as a child. And all I had was my TV set in the kitchen. And Superman was one of the things that kept me going when I was bullied at school. So that meant a lot to me. So I'm sick and tired of certain Snyder fans. And most Snyder fans are lovely, beautiful people. And they're my mates. It ain't an issue. But when you disrespect something I love, when I've told you that I love what you love, I love Snyder's stuff, right? But we're talking about why, it started, why don't people want Superman to evolve? Superman is Superman, right? You can change the movies. You can have lots of CGI. You can have the palette dark if you want. It isn't about that. But you can't change who Superman is. And that's the point. Too many times we went down the evil Superman route. He wanted to murder the whole Justice League when he came back to life, right? We had that. Then we had the whole anti-life equation thing in the nightmare future. How many more times were we going to do this? And let's not forget that Snyder wanted Batman to put Lois Lane in the club. He wanted Batman to have sex with Lois Lane. These are things that people... This is why because Snyder shaves upwards, and that's the problem. But yeah, I can debate. I haven't argued with you, and we've disagreed. There's loads of people who disagree with me. It's not about. I'm not one of. I'm not one of these basic bitches. I'm not someone. If you say something I don't like, I'm going to argue with you, right? That's not the point. It's about discourse being calm. But he kept on. If you noticed, he kept on chipping away, and he wouldn't accept my point of view, right? I can disagree with you, but accept your point of view. How many times, you ask any of the people who come into my chats, how many times have I said, I don't agree with you, but I respect your opinion? I've said it plenty of times. And there'll be plenty of people who have actually said, will say, yeah, Mick says that a lot. So that's not the point. So then he said, you're too argumentative. That's why people don't subscribe to you. No, I don't promote my channel. I refuse to pay to promote my channel, and I'm too lazy to push my channel because I'm not that ruthless about it. But I love doing the videos, and I will constantly continue to do the videos. Even if no one comes in, I'm still going to do this because I'm nuts. I like the sound of my own voice. I'm vain. It's my vanity, right? But it's like a lottery to me. If one day I peak, fantastic. I'm not saying I don't want to be a successful YouTuber. I'm saying I don't sit there looking at my views and go, oh no, there's only 7 people and 10 likes. It doesn't bother me, right? Because considering I don't push my channel, considering it's a basic camera, considering I'm sitting in my bedroom, my subscribers aren't so bad. And ultimately, 50 people coming in for a pre-recorded video isn't bad considering I don't push it. And I'm probably shadow banned as well because I'm a small YouTuber. It's okay. It ain't a big success. It's not a success at all. But I get here and some people come in especially to watch me. If 5 people come into my videos, that's cool. If one person says, I love your stuff, Mick, that's amazing. I'm not a fame whore. I'm not an attention whore. It's okay. If I had a problem with how many people come in to see me, I wouldn't do this every day, would I? I do literally 2 or 3 videos a day, including the pre-records and the lives. I wouldn't be doing that if I was after some kind of fame, because I think after 2.5 years, I think we can see we're not going anywhere with this channel, but I still enjoy doing it. And that's the point. But when you argue with people sometimes, you know what they do? Look at how many followers you've got. Look at how many subscribers you've got. Like it makes a difference. If I predict something, and most of the things I predict about the industry come true. But nobody believes me. Why would you know more than this person who's got 1 million subscribers and you've only got this many subscribers? It isn't about that. I don't brag about who I know, what I know, where I've been, and why I know so much about the industry, because I don't need to, right? Because I don't need to enlarge my ego. I know what I know, and I know who I know. And I'm comfortable in my own skin, not to have to tell you, yeah, well, I know this one, I've done this, I've done that, I can prove this, no. The thing is, I've been here since 2018, July 2018, and most of the things I predict about the industry come true, and there's a reason. So anyone who's followed me for a long time knows my record at getting things right. When they delayed the Flash movie and a few others at the beginning of this year, and everyone was saying it's just VFX, it's because of COVID, I said there's issues here, there's something suspicious going on. They didn't even have enough movies for 2023 until they delayed all the movies from this year to next year. Think about that for a minute. And I said all this, and it was bang on. So all people have to do, right, is look at my record on this channel. And if you want to consume someone like Grace Randolph or John Campion, who talks utter shit, but has got 1 million subs or whatever they've got, right, and they used to work in the industry, right? Right, if you want to follow people like that, it's fine. But my record is second to none. My takes are second to none. And when people come here and listen to my takes, they actually get informed about what's going on. Like I did today, talking about the Lobo thing, and potentially we go to a new DC universe. Momoa is Lobo and not Aquaman anymore, because Zaslav wants comic book accuracy and he wants to protect that DC brand. That's the point. Now, I think me saying that is very informative, because not only is it an opinion, it's an informed opinion, because everything that Zaslav's done since he's come is about protecting the brand. That's why J.J. Abrams' stuff is out the door. That's why we're never going to get a Black Clark Kent now. Thank fuck for David Zaslav. So this has been Movies TV Mad. It's been a long one tonight, but I must admit I've really enjoyed it. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I am your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Oh no, maybe I'm just here for the views, because I just said comment, like, and subscribe. Apologies, Alex. Alex Marvin. All right, Mick, sorry for spamming you. Had a lot of fun. Talk soon. Well, I don't mind. I don't mind if you want to make comments and you want to talk to me. So, yeah, it weren't like you were saying you're going to be on the street corner tonight. Come and find me. You had legitimate comments, legitimate questions. So there's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed everyone's conversations. You're all great. I hope you come back again. I'll be back tomorrow morning with the DC Universe Daily Live, like I am every morning. We'll have a recorded video afterwards. Then I'll be back tomorrow evening for more conversations. And who knows what breaking news in the DC Universe and entertainment in general we'll have to talk about. So until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been a blast. See you again soon. I'm going to have a rest now, because I ain't shut up for 2 hours and 24 minutes. How the fuck have I done it? I'm probably going to die after this. So if you don't see me tomorrow, you know why. See you later.